Yancey? Yancey, we lost the tow. It must have broke during the night.
What? What are you talking about, Gus? Never lost a tow in my life. Until now, anyway.
What'll we do?
Head back north.
Take all day to run back up there.
Pull in the cable. I'll call the Coast Guard.
What about Al?
I'll call him, too. This is WB3849, calling Coos Bay Coast Guard.
I'll be right there. Hello? Oh, hello, Al. No, he hasn't left yet. He just went to get some gas. Hold on, he's coming in now. Hang on.
I still don't see why he won't take me. I'd like to see him by a forest.
It's only a piece of a forest. And besides, you have to be in school, young man. Go tell your father Mr. Swenson's on the phone.
Hello. Yeah. What do you mean he lost the barge? Well, there's $250,000 worth of lumber on that thing. He better find it. He's not going to get anywhere at 5 knots. Look, I'm going to Port Angeles. I'll fly out over the ocean, look for it myself.
Good. Yancey called the Coast Guard at Coos Bay. And another thing, Kelly expects that load of lumber in San Diego by Monday. He's about 4,000 houses behind schedule.
I know. I'm leaving right away. You call Sam, tell him I'll be a little late getting into Port Angeles. We're liable to be out there all day looking for that thing. Right. Okay. Yancey, lost the barge.
How far out is it?
About 60 miles.
Max, you're not going to take our plane 60 miles out over the Pacific Ocean, are you?
No, and I'm not going to do it by myself either. I'll hop over and charter a twin from Hank Scanlon. Maybe he can fly me up there himself.
Good. Couldn't I come?
Not this time, son. But I'll tell you what, I'll take you to the airfare this weekend.
Oh, that'll be great.
Do me a favor, put the bags in the plane, will you?
Okay, Dad.
Thanks. Well, I'll be back sometime day after tomorrow. You guys hold the fort.
I hope you find that barge.
So do I.
Be careful.
I will.
Max, does that smile on your face mean what I think it means?
Sure flies great.
You know, this is a great day for me. Finally got you up into a twin-engine airplane. Sorry, though, that you had to lose a barge load of lumber to get the ride.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's okay with me if you want to turn it into a demonstration.
Okay, I'll make a deal with you. I'll turn it into a demonstration after we find the barge. I learned a long time ago as an instructor that a man doesn't learn anything when he has something else on his mind.
Okay, you got a deal.
Let's pick up this heading right over here.
There's that new national seashore at Point Reyes.
It's a national seashore.
You know, like a national park. They keep it in a natural state.
Great idea.
You know, I've had my 182 almost 4 years now. I've often thought of getting a twin. I can afford it. The business is doing very well. But I'm not sure I need one.
You needed one this morning.
That's right. I don't lose a barge load of lumber every day.
It's a good thing. You know, Max, a twin engine airplane has a whole lot more going for it than just the extra safety of two engines.
I know, but look at this cockpit. Transponder, DME, all that Omni. Look at that throttle quadrant. Compared to my airplane, this looks like a 707.
For sure, it's a little complicated. You know, Max, by the time you get home, you'll be familiar with the cockpit.
We'll see about that. Anyway, that's not all there is to it.
Any good single-engine pilot can move up to a twin.
Yeah?
Yeah. You've been flying this one for the last hour.
All right. What if I lose an engine?
Keep it up on the other one. That does require a little skill. The trick is to maintain that skill once you've learned it, whether you ever need it or not.
And you'll show me?
You bet. As soon as we find that seagoing lumberyard of yours.
Hey, that's Cape Mendocino already.
It's one of the advantages of a twin-engine airplane I was telling you about.
Sure got here fast.
Okay, I've got it. Call North Bend Radio. Tell them we're coming in for a landing to top off our tanks and pick up some survival gear before heading out to sea.
Right, and I can call the Coast Guard station at Coos Bay from there. North Bend Radio, this is Twin Cessna 4103, Quebec. 10 miles south of the station at 6,500 for landing instructions, over.
Good morning, U.S. Coast Guard. Chief Murray, it's for you.
Chief Murray speaking. Oh, yes, Mr. Bartell, we've been expecting to hear from you.
I was wondering if Swenson called you from San Pedro.
Yes, sir. I talked with him and the tugboat captain. We're glad you're able to fly up. Our plane is on a rescue mission, but we have a cutter underway.
Well, that's very helpful. Can the cutter stand by till our tug gets there?
Oh, yes, sir, no problem there. Can you tell me what kind of search pattern you'll fly?
Yes, we'll select radios from the North Bend Vortac and use our DME to cover an area south and west of Coos Bay.
Good luck, sir. I hope you find it.
Thanks. So do I.
North Bend Radio, this is 4103 Quebec. We are ready for immediate departure. Request traffic advisory, over.
Roger, 03 Quebec, this is North Bend. We have an aircraft report on final.
Thank you, North Bend. We have it in sight. Yeah, looks like he's coming in pretty slow.
How can you tell that?
Well, look at him. He's hanging on the props.
Well, is that such a bad thing when you have two engines?
No, you're carrying a lot of power to drag it in, and you're still losing airspeed, and then you suddenly lose an engine just below or near VMC. You can lose control before you know it.
Listen, why is there always so much talk about VMC and twins?
That's the minimum airspeed at which the airplane is controllable when the critical engine goes out on a takeoff and you're carrying full power on the other one.
Oh, sure, but my 182 has a VMC also.
Yeah, but the big difference is this, Max. If you lost an engine on your airplane coming in the way he did, you may not make it to the end of the field. But the big problem in a twin is controlling the off-center thrust when you lose an engine just below VMC.
And that's the big difference.
Yes, sir, that's the big difference. Well, come on, let's go. Now, VMC is very critical on the takeoff. When we reach 77 miles an hour, the airplane will want to lift off, but the manual says 87 miles an hour is VMC. So we'll hold her on the ground till we get VMC plus 5. 92 miles an hour. Now, some of these instruments are calibrated in knots, but the conversion is very simple. Accelerate to the best rate of climb speed and keep climbing.
In other words, you don't give up ground control until you have air control.
That's it. You know, if you get into the air below VMC and then lose an engine, you're in big trouble. Because of the drag of that windmilling prop, the off-center thrust from the good engine, and the low airspeed, your rudder and aileron are ineffective and you lose control.
Hank, we're in. There she is.
Hey, you're right. Let's go down and take a look. Hey, that's quite a load of lumber.
Well, it looks okay. I guess we got lucky.
Well, let's see where we are so we can tell the Coast Guard. DME reads 84.4 miles. That's a lot farther out than I figured. North Bend Radio, this is 4103 Quebec, over.
4103 Quebec, this is North Bend Radio, over.
North Bend, will you inform the Coast Guard that we've located the Bartell barge adrift about 85 miles off of your station? A bearing of 259 degrees. They will inform the seagoing tug Titan and also Mr. Sam Carson in Port Angeles, over.
Roger, 03 Quebec, understand the barge is at 85 miles out on a 259 degree radio. We'll call the Coast Guard right away, over.
Thank you, North Bend, that's affirmative. We'll proceed VFR direct to Port Angeles, out.
Roger, 03 Quebec, have a good trip. This is North Bend Radio, out.
Hey, you know, it's only 1 o'clock. This airplane really covers ground, doesn't it?
Where water is, the case may be. Mission accomplished. You ready for that demonstration now?
Sure, I thought you'd forgotten.
No chance. Okay, first I'll demonstrate an engine out procedure from a cruise configuration. Then we'll put you over here in the left seat and let you try it. You know, it's a whole lot safer to practice these emergency procedures at altitude rather than 100 feet. This is a strictly by-the-numbers procedure, nothing haphazard. Now, when I pull the right mixture control to idle cutoff, you'll know that the right engine is out. Now, in the case of a real emergency, the throttle quadrant will look just like it looks now. So it's important that you determine which engine is out. Notice how the nose yawed to the right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good indication that the right engine is out. Now, your first move is to regain directional control. Then add full power. That's full rich mixture, full RPM, and full power. And in that order. And as quickly as possible, verify your flaps and gear to see that they're up so there's no unnecessary drag. Now, all through this procedure, you have to make sure that your airspeed doesn't drop below VY, even if it means losing a little altitude.
VY, what's that?
That's the best rate of climb airspeed for an engine out, and it must be maintained to ensure a minimum loss of altitude.
All right, gear and flaps are up. What's next?
Next, we verify. Now, there are two ways to verify an engine out. Number one, the dead engine is always on the side of the dead foot. If my right foot isn't doing anything, it has to be the right engine. And number two, if I close the throttle on the right engine completely, and there's no change in sound or response on the rudder, then it's definitely the right engine.
If you pulled the wrong throttle, you'd know soon enough, huh?
Get mighty quiet. Okay, now we can go ahead and feather the prop on the bad engine. Adjust the throttle on our good engine, and then trim the airplane. And we complete our shutdown with the emergency checklist. Now, you'll notice I've been carrying the good engine down about 5 degrees. This helps the performance, improves it, and also takes some of the pressure off the rudder.
Well, all twins do this well?
No, they all have different characteristics. Some vary slightly from the procedures I've just shown you. Even their performances vary. Now, this particular airplane has a single engine rate of climb of 330 feet per minute. That's at sea level on a standard day.
That's at gross, huh?
That's right. Now, look, as long as we have that engine shut down, let's assume we're going to make a single engine approach with the gear down and full flaps. Now, it's important that we maintain at least the minimum safe single-engine speed recommended by the manufacturer until a safe landing is assured. Now, let's also assume that our runway elevation is going to be 4,500 feet, and that we're going to make a single-engine go-around 200 feet above that runway. Now, this is strictly by the numbers. Understand that? Now, when I get to 4,700 feet, this is what I'll do. I'll add full takeoff power to my good engine. Raise the flaps, raise the nose slightly, bring up the gear, and maintain VY until I regain some altitude. Now, some manufacturers recommend bringing the gear up first. It has similar results.
We're almost there.
Okay, here we go. Full throttle. Flaps coming up. Raise the nose slightly. Gear coming up. Maintain VY. Now back into the good engine about 5 degrees.
Well, I can see why it's important to do it right the first time.
Right. All right. Let me show you how to restart the engine. Now that's by the numbers too, and you can learn that from the owner's manual. The trouble is, too many owners don't look at their manual. Okay, let's go. Fuel selector valve set to right main. Mag switch is on. Throttle open till the horn stops blowing. Then the prop lever all the way to full RPM until the prop starts windmilling.
There she goes.
When that starts, reduce to low RPM. Then full rich mixture.
How do you bring it right back up to power?
No. Remember, this engine is cooled down. You bring it up slowly. Now, there's another thing I want you to remember. If your airplane isn't equipped with an unfeathering system, you'll have to use the starter. Don't keep your finger on that starter button so long that you burn out the starter.
Sure is a lot of stuff to remember.
Oh, it's not so bad. You'll learn a lot by the time you get to Port Angeles.
Hiya, Max.
Sam, what do you know?
Well, some good news. I just heard that the tug got a line on the barge.
Hey, that is good. We're still going to have a long talk with Yancey.
You know it.
Oh, Sam, Hank Scanlon. Sam Carson.
How do you do, Sam?
All right.
Nice to know you.
What's the word on the timber?
Oh, the Canadian government owns it. They've sent timber cruisers in to survey the acreage. We've got a figure of, a little over 500,000 feet.
What do you figure's a bid?
Well, if there's no road problem, I think we can figure on 24,000.
All right. Let's look over Victoria and head for the timber in the morning. Okay, Hank?
Okay. By the way, where are we staying?
The Empress Hotel. There it is right there.
Looks very impressive.
Wait till you see it from the ground. Looks like we bought ourselves a forest.
I'll give you a call just as soon as the details are wrapped up. Have a good trip back, huh?
We will. Traveling first class.
Hey, Max, no time like the present.
You want me to fly it?
Why not?
Great. Take care, Sam.
Sam, pleasure meeting you. Lots of good luck to you.
Thank you.
Now remember, Max, when you take off, it's VMC plus 5. That's 92 miles an hour. Right. Now you'll notice that it'll have a tendency to lift off at 77, but hold her on. You got it? At 77, red line is VMC. Take her off. Beautiful. See what I meant by trying to lift off too soon? Sure did. You know, Max, if you lose an engine and you're low and flying too fast, you can't convert that excess speed into altitude. In fact, if you consider the drag of that windmilling prop in your own moment of indecision, the speed will have deserted you.
And you're 50 feet off the ground trying to recover, huh?
So the best thing is to try for a little altitude. Then if something goes wrong, you can always use the altitude better than speed.
But if you climb too steeply, your airspeed will fall back below VMC, and then if you lose an engine, you're really in trouble, huh?
Right. So the thing to do is to fly the best rate of climb speed. As usual, you can find that in the owner's manual.
Right.
All right, let's try an engine out. I'll shield the mixture controls so you can't tell which engine's out.
Swerving to the right.
All right, get directional control. Full power. Check your flaps and gear. Now verify.
Left engine out. No, right engine.
Okay, go ahead and feather the prop on the right engine. Now back her into the good engine. Do you see what would have happened if you'd feathered the wrong engine?
Sure do. I would have lost everything.
Okay, let's start her up.
All right, let me see if I can do this by myself.
I'll keep still.
Fuel selector. Right main. Mags on. Throttle set. Props, high RPM. Starting the windmill. Now back to low RPM. Mixture, full rich. Now, the emergency checklist.
Good, she's up. Congratulations.
Now, I can see the hard part would be keeping tuned up for an emergency that may never happen.
That's why it's good to have an instructor along now and then. Even though you may have a lot of experience in your own airplane, he can chop a throttle on you by surprise. It helps to keep up your proficiency. Just like I'm going to chop a throttle on you 3 or 4 times between here and Fresno.
That'll be nice.
Oh, it's not so tough. All you have to do is think ahead about what you're doing. That goes for takeoffs, cruises, and landing.
I can see in a twin you've got to keep your mind at least a couple of miles ahead of your airplane. Hey, we're almost home.
Well, we've been doing 220 miles an hour.
I'm impressed with your airplane.
Does a good job of selling itself.
All you have to do is learn how to fly it.
That's right. By the numbers.
What does by the numbers mean, Dad?
Well, it means that everything you do for a reason. And you have to learn to do things the right way and at the right time.
So I get you to do that around the house.
Not trying to convert me, are you?
Well, I'd like to. Well, I mean to change from our plane to this one.
Gee, Dad, that'd be great.
Well, Max, it's for sale.
Well, keep talking.